like a stretch. Like Aerith mentions white materia casually. Like I have materia, it's good for nothing. Blah blah blah. I like that because that puts it out there. Because in the original game, you have no idea what holy was until she brought it up way later. You're like, you had this the whole time, like
Yeah.
for real. And then the thing with Zack, they make it very apparent off rip that Cloud is kind of like, especially when he talks about being soldier first class. Tifa has these facial expressions like, yeah, I remember Nibelheim. Yeah, sure. You can tell she doesn't want to bother him. And when it does get mentioned, it has like an effect on Cloud. He starts grabbing his head, gets the headache, gets tremors, whatever. So you can tell. Off rip, it makes a few things apparent. Because like I said, up until when I played the original one, I'm like, who the F is this black-haired version of Cloud? Like, who the heck is this crap? And then in the remake, they make it apparent, like, hey, there's two things of Cloud you need to worry about. Especially when he falls to the church. Like, there's two versions of Cloud talking to him. The really confident one, and then the really, like, melancholy, like, insecure one sitting on the floor. And you're like, what does this mean? What does this signify? Like, there's two sides of this main character you're about to figure out in a little bit. What else?
Someone else is in here.
Oh, on God.
Hey, what up? Hey, we got to the spoiler part where you haven't played yet.
Oh, on God.
On God, yeah. We just finished the original story. By the way, guys, this is Salad Lad. I don't know if y'all want to call him Little Caesar or not, but whatever.
It's me.
Yeah. He's played the original but hasn't played the remake yet.
See, the thing is, I played the original, but I played it so long ago, I barely remember it. I just remember like the traumatic stuff. That's it.
Dang.
I played it when I was like probably 11. You know?
Oh no, all the traumatic stuff is fresh. It's all fresh in my mind.
He just beat it. Like, when did you beat it? Last week, right?
Yeah.
He just beat it last
It
week.
was either last week or the week before.
Do you mind if we talk about the remake? Because, well, I'll tell you when to leave when it gets to spoilery stuff. How about that?
Alright, bro. Alright.
All right. Until then, you can hop in because it's almost the same story pacing, just in better detail, obviously, because it's a remake. But as of right now, we're talking about the differences from, and not the story spoilers, but differences from the original to the remake that have like relevance. So, what was I gonna say? We just finished off Aerith talking about Holy, Zack, blah blah blah. Okay. The introduction of Red 13 was dope as hell, by the way. I just want to bring that up now. In the original one, he tries to, I guess Hojo's trying to get them to rape each other or something. I don't know how that works. But in this one, he's like just separated from her already, and he just finds the group.
Yeah, he was pretty badass the way he showed up.
I love it.
I was really upset
So they don't
that
have
we
Red
couldn't play
13
him.
attack Hojo?
No.
He tries.
He tries. But hold on, what was another? Oh, the characters that appear in the background. Freaking what's that boy's name? He works for Shinra. He does the VR program. What's his name? Crap.
Oh, Chadley.
Chadley. Then there's the girl, the one that steals from Johnny.
Kyrie.
Maria yeah, I think it's Kyrie. I was
no,
thinking Maria from Persona 4.
Kirei.
Kitty, yeah.
Kirei.
Okay, right.
Also, let's just talk about Johnny real quick. He went from being super background character to like having a whole like funny ass arc.
Everybody kind of did, to be honest. I mean, you got to do that when you stretch out something that's 4 hours. I mean, that's what I beat Midgar in 4 hours. And I mean, you have a 35-hour long game, 40 hours. You gotta go into detail on all these things and water them down a little bit.
I really like what they do with him though. Like instead of him just what up Soul Minus, what?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, he was pretty funny. He made everything have character.
Everywhere he was, he wasn't supposed to be there, bro. That's the funny part.
I don't know. That's one of my biggest concerns about the remake, though, is that like if you're only working with 4 hours of the original gameplay and stretching it out, I thought it would be a bit like bloated, like
There's
stuff that wouldn't really matter.
There's some sections that feel that way, and
Yeah, the pacing is very.
it's sporadic to a certain extent.
Yikes! Yeah.
Like there's some parts that are super like they painted the parts that are padded out, puffed out that I loved were the parts that the fans wanted, like more time with Aerith, more time with Tifa. Like those parts, I can't complain. But there's some parts where like bruh, like Hojo's lab, like bruh, we didn't. No, actually, we got to spend time with Red 13, so I can't be mad at that. Not at all. But there are some parts where it's padded out. But well, yeah, we can talk about the padded out parts right now. Where am I supposed to go right now? I'm replaying as we talk right now. But yeah, the story pacing where it got padded out. Hojo's lab, Shinra headquarters was the best. That was awesome. Every second of it, the little mausoleum we have there. Wall Market was good. I really love the Wall Market. That whole scene. and the choices you make for Tifa have an effect. I really like that too. The dress and stuff.
That's pretty badass. The wall working was my favorite part of the whole game. Like,
what did you pick for the dress Vash for Tifa?
Exotic.
Actually, yeah, exotic.
I was so disappointed with exotic. Let's be real about that.
Yeah, I was like, eh.
Yeah, no, I'm disappointed because I saw the other dresses like in other videos. I was like, what? That's not exotic.
Yeah,
that is
exactly.
exotic. It's like
It
Japanese.
was more like classy and elegant, I guess, than more exotic. So.
I didn't like sporty either. And on this run, I just picked mature. I know it's gonna be the purple dress from the original game, but I just wanted to try every single option I got. But who's seen Final Fantasy VII Abridged?
I have not actually.
You haven't?
I have not.
Oh,
I didn't even know they existed.
You need to
Yeah,
see
me neither.
Machine Abridged. It's
Is it
done
Is
by
it by
Team
Team
4
Star?
Yes. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's really good.
I might
That was
actually
my
have to watch
introduction
that.
to Final Fantasy VII.
It was.
Really?
It was.
Really?
Awesome.
You can see the generational difference here. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
But yeah. If you ever see Final, just we're not gonna talk about it then because you need to watch it first because you can tell Square Enix took some stuff from that game from that series and put it in
That's
the
awesome.
remake. There's like 3 things in it. I swear it's intentional that they did from the remake from the Team 4-Star Bridge version in their game. They took some stuff. I swear they did.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like there's a dynamic that Red 13 and Barrett have. It's avalanche time. Bro, they do it. They say those words. Like it is weird.
That's
is
cool.
Weird as hell. You don't remember they're who's calling me right now? Oh, it's my grandmother. I love you. Bye. All right. Listen. But there's certain aspects like the Red 13 and Barrett dynamic. Like they start off hating each other, and then like they're always together once they start fighting in groups. They're always together.
Yeah, Barrett,
That's cute.
and I kind of liked him. He's like,
He's like, "What's your name? It can talk. What are you, a lab rat dog?" Oh, okay. And then whenever it's just the subtle nods like that. Like when they get stuck up at Shinra HQ in the main lobby after they get discovered, he's like, "What are you guys?" He goes, "I'm a eco-terrorist, florist, lab rat dog." It's like Barrett gave you that name. That's cute. You're gonna use that. That's funny as hell.
That was cool. I did like that.
Yeah,
A lot
that
of the
was
writing was very good.
The writing
The
was
thing
on point.
The only thing I didn't like was when Cloud said, "Bring it on, bitch," and I was like, "What?"
Cloud says stuff. Bro, you have to understand though. How many times did Zack say stuff like that in Crisis Core? Not cussing, but arrogant like that all the time.
I guess you're right, but the whole thing with Cloud is like you never really see the part of Zack in him until
Like the emulation, yeah.
yeah. I mean, like they're definitely trying to make it out, and I guess that's a good point that you bring up because I didn't think about that's the Zack part of him.
That is. It's
And
gotta be.
then that's why I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense now because when I was playing it and that part came up where he said that line, I was like, really?
Yeah,
Like,
it did feel
yeah.
it felt out of pace, but then I was like, you know what? That's like, and that's where being a previous player of the game comes in. Like, the new fans, like they're gonna accept that part of Cloud, no question. They're gonna be like, oh, cool, he said something funny. To us, you're gonna be like, he doesn't say that, and then that's where that
Yeah.
second layer of like us playing the original game comes from. Like, that's something Zack would say, like
Yeah.
playing around.
I'd take that Cloud over Advent Children edgy Cloud any day. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I hope they kind of go off the character development of Cloud and not just make him like this edgelord of like, hey, I'm the silent type because, video games all have like this silent protagonist.
I'm
I want
cool.
them to do the develop. Yeah, exactly. I want them to do development, not just have him be Sasuke the whole freaking time. Just have him like develop into Zack and like kind of find himself, and that would be really really interesting if they did that.
My favorite quote from him is whenever he does his limit, "Let's dance, asshole." I love that. That gets me hyped.
Yeah,
Like, especially when you're in the middle of a boss fight and your HP's low, and then they're at the low HP too,
yeah.
and you know that's gonna be the finishing move. Let's dance, asshole.
I like how he was like, when they dressed him as a girl,
Oh.
and then Tifa and Air behind him. He goes, "Yeah, I know, they nailed it." Like, so you want to change the
Yes.
conversation
I
so
know,
quick.
I nailed it.
I like that a lot. They do make his character a lot more
shy.
dimensional.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think they had more dimensions to his character than just the cool like stoic.
Yeah, he wasn't super edgy, but he was still kind of edgy, but not like
We can relate to him.
I expect it.
Yeah.
Things
It's
were
like
pulled out of left field. We can relate to. We can see the common sense in what his actions are and what he said.
exactly. Yeah.
But I do want to talk about the gameplay. We kind of jumped over that. The gameplay was dope. I liked it. There's some people that don't like it. Specifically, a friend of mine at work, he said it reminds him, like, if he can see how this game can be set up to be like Final Fantasy 12 with the auto cure materia, with the auto dodge materia, and his complaint was, and he beat it already. His complaint was, I want to play the game every time. I don't want the option to be lazy and just put the controller down, because that's gonna derive me from the experience. And I said, but you beat it already. He's like, I know, but I just don't want that option. I don't ever want that to be a thing for me when I play these games. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll let somebody else go before I go, but I would say I agree with him on that.
And he made it a good point. He's like, let's be real, we all played 12, and at one point we got bored and didn't want to level up on our own. So he put the auto heals and all the gambits set up correctly, and we just put the controller down. He was telling me that really, even if we beat the game, like, for what this was worth and what it means to us, that should never even be an option. I'm like, I get that. I can respect
I guess this is an option for new players and people who are just... Because, I mean, you don't have to put it on, honestly. Like,
I know, but he's like, even then, he's like, the new players shouldn't even have that option either. They need to feel this. I'm like, oh, I get that. I can understand where he's coming from. But at the end of the day,
I wouldn't say that that's my gripe with it. The auto cure stuff, like, I mean, you can take that off if you don't like it. You know, you don't have to use stuff like that.
And you can do the same thing with gambits too. But let's be real. Did we ever take it off when we did gambits in 12? No.
I did not. No.
I did not.
I don't remember the gambit.
Good.
12 is the one with lightning, right?
No, that's 13.
12 is 13. Yeah.
Oh,
12
13.
is-
Okay,
12
no,
is
I
actually-
never played 12.
Don't talk about my baby. That's my favorite Final Fantasy.
Okay,
game.
so I played 13, not 12.
13.
Yeah,
was,
13 is yikes.
I like the 13.
Has its charm. That's what I was saying.
I
But,
like
Yeah.
the 13 a lot.
just
It'd
the
been cooler
gameplay
as a
its own.
movie.
Yeah. What do you think about the gameplay from this one, Hector?
It was great.
I'm gonna
The
call
only
you by
thing-
your name sometimes. I'm sorry, y'all. It's going.
You're good, bro. You're good. I loved everything about it. It's the only thing I didn't like is they didn't have a jumping mechanic.
Oh, yep.
That jumping mechanic kind of bothered me. Like, Cloud can jump high as hell, and all of a sudden you can't even jump over a rock. Which I get it why they did that. It's, to set boundaries so you're not, like, fucking trying to get out the map and
You're not
shit
Sora
like that.
flying around.
Yeah, that shit. But it's pretty great. Like, the whole thing where you can, like, do commands and it stops. There's a stop motion shit. That was great.
Yeah, I like the active time battle too. That was dope.
Yeah, they thought it through, and I see why they delayed it a little bit. So
A
it makes
little
sense.
bit.
Well, a lot bit.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true. They delayed it for a while. When was it originally supposed to come out?
This was to come out. They never 1 month, like 1 month beforehand.
Yeah.
Well, they delayed it a couple times too.
Yeah, I think they did.
I think it was really supposed to come out like 2019.
I was
Really?
in middle school when the remake was revealed.
But you're like 15, bro.
I'm graduating this year.
Oh God, Caesar, you're old. Ew.
That's 5. Yeah, it's 5. It's been 5 years since they announced it.
You're impure. Let me stop. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, man. Well, dang, I feel bad because honestly, I don't know. I like the gameplay. I really, even with the auto cure, I don't know. It's probably because I'm a huge fangirl of this series. Like, I spent hundreds of hours playing this growing up. I never beat it, but spent hundreds of hours playing it because the third disc was scratched up. I couldn't beat it.
That's sad.
But I don't know. I'm just a sucker for it. I don't know.
I kind of wish it was just one game, but like they said, it's gonna be too large to do that. So it's kind of like fuck, like you gotta pay another $60 for another game.
That's true, but
And
also
another
like
60 after that, so you're paying 180 for all together.
Yeah,
that's true because every edition is gonna have a special edition. Let's be real. They are.
I just wonder, like, is our progress gonna save, or is it gonna make us start from zero again and
I
the
think
new volume?
I think they'll have it auto. Well, that's the thing. That's going to be hard. Yeah, that's a good question.
They're gonna pull a 13 where you just reset and no questions. You just reset.
I think they will do that. I want to say that they would have an option for people to carry over something from that. So it's like, oh, this is going to
Mostly
detect.
weapons. I think it's gonna be weapons.
It might be. I don't know. The
Or-
fact that there's already assets in the game, it just
I-
depends. But
I had a good theory. You know how in Final Fantasy 3 with the orphans, there was Fire, Fire 2, Fire 3, and then in Final Fantasy 5 it was Fire, Fyara, Fyaraga, Fyaraza, Fyaraja. I think they're gonna do like in part 2 it's gonna be Fyaraza, Fyaraja, and then in the last part it's gonna be Flare, for
Flare,
fire,
yeah.
Plasma for thunder, Hurricane for air, for like the wind materia. Like they'll figure something out. I don't want to reset. I don't.
Flare makes me have PTSD.
If they do Zeta Flare, PTSD for real.
There's a boss fight at the end. I won't get into details for the guy who hasn't played it yet, but
Oh yeah. Ooh.
that shit pissed me
where?
off.
Yeah, yeah. That's when you have to leave, Caesar. I mean, I don't think you have
Ah.
to leave. You're gonna play the game eventually anyway.
Right.
Yeah, but gameplay. I don't know. How did you feel about the gameplay? Like seriously, Vash.
So, all right, I'll get into this. The first thing I noticed when I booted up the game was the camera. It's terrible. It's
Kingdom
not
Hearts
good.
camera, bro. What you mean?
It's worse than Kingdom Hearts. The Cloud's Buster Sword takes up literally 1/8 of the screen. When you're going through Midgar, probably more than that, honestly.
Oh yeah, when it's from the back and he's running around randomly.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, you can't see anything, you can't jump. So I mean, like, yeah, it's a Final Fantasy game, but at the same time, like, you let us jump in 15, so it's like they really have the thing I have a problem with this game wasn't a game. It was an amusement park ride. It was literally an experience. They just went, hey, we spent 5 years working on this like VR almost experience because it's just on rails the whole time. You're going through, there's no exploration, there's not really much to do other than
The
the
VR
story.
missions, literally.
And the VR missions, and then those side quests that you can do. But you know, I did all the side quests. You know what I mean? Like, they
Yeah,
didn't
on the
make
first
me
go,
feel.
I did it.
Yeah, they didn't make me feel any different or any like I accomplished anything. They didn't give me anything that I really needed, I guess. I mean,
They gave
I
you a
guess they
nail
did.
bat, bro. What you talking about?
Well, the nail bats to do the mini games. I
Token-
love the mini games. Don't
token.
get me wrong. I love the mini games. And I will say this before I dump on this game. I love the soundtrack. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I love the story. I love the
soundtrack's
presentation. Yeah, the presentation of this game is pristine. It's great, but they spent way too much money and time and the resources on that. I feel like the gameplay could have been a lot better. I think for me personally, I don't like the fact of is it a ARPG or is it a like a Bayonetta action game like Platinum, or is it a JRPG turn by I guess turn-based RPG. So that's the thing, is they try to put it in the middle, and I think that it has an identity crisis of what it's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be something that's active battle, or is it something that's supposed to be, you're in menus the whole time? Because that's a lot of the things. You would have this battle and you'd have all these ATB gouges built up, but you would have to stop the battle for 20 seconds just to get this whole thing off. And it's like, well, I want to go and attack. And that's the thing too, is when you're aggressive in this game, I feel like it does punish you a lot.
It
There's a lot of
does.
stuns.
Super.
That
There's a-
Sephiroth fight, that's punished
Yeah.
for real.
And that's the thing, the Sephiroth fight, and excuse me if I spoil it, you do fight Sephiroth at the end.
It's
Big shot.
I wouldn't expect them not. I would expect them.
You go into your guard mode and you hold R1, and that's how you beat Sephiroth. That's literally how I beat him. I didn't press anything. I didn't do anything. I just parried him the whole time until he got staggered, and then I had Aerith heal me, and that was it.
Well, that
was all I did.
That's how we always fought against Sephiroth, to be honest.
Well,
If you watch Advanced Children, constantly on the offensive.
that's
Hey.
true, but I mean, in a game where
It's a
you're
movie,
playing,
yeah, versus a game.
yeah, exactly,
Feels like
and that's the
you're
thing is,
repeating
and you
yourself.
can't punish a player for the way that they want to play. It's like this whole thing is on rails, where they're like, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. Do it this way. You can't jump. You can't do it. You can't attack, because if you do, you're gonna get stunned, and then you have to switch your character. And then if you switch your character and they attack, they're gonna get stunned because all the aggro goes to that person that you're on.
Yeah.
There's no jumping, so if there's an aerial enemy and you don't have Barret, you're screwed.
Oh
You're
no, Cloud and
royally
Tifa
screwed.
do. Well, they don't jump, but they do.
They
hone
they,
in.
they do an aerial attack, yes, but the camera doesn't understand what's going on when you do that. At least when I was playing,
No,
I had
yeah, especially when you
with
climb up
those
to the Midgard,
drakes.
when you climb up to the Shinra Tower, when you're on the destroyed platform, and everybody's aerial enemies for some reason.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
yeah,
the
that
one thing.
camera.
Yeah, that big the Valkyrie. That was a
That-
huge thing
I'm
that
like,
made
what
that pissed
the
me off. And like I said, I've made a Reddit post. I've said, am I the only person that is like just really not liking this game right now? Because I want to like this game. I do like it. I played all the way through it, 35 hours. I actually want to go through it and play it again on hard mode just to see if I could find out what that happy medium is. Because I think my brain doesn't work. I'm very brute force when it comes to games. I love being aggressive. I love
You play World of Warcraft,
just kind of
right?
get in there. Me? Yeah.
What do you mean?
What a
Class.
paladin.
I knew it. Okay, go ahead. Either that or a hunter. I fucking knew it.
And freaking rough them up and just play it my way and have my way with the AI. And the game did not let me do that, and it punished me for doing it. Hell House was a freaking journey
Oh
for
my
me.
god.
Hell House was. Oh my god.
And there's one part actually that's worse than Hell House for me, and it's the funniest thing because you go into the parking garage, and I'll never forget this freaking parking garage the rest of my life, because you go into this parking garage, and they have 4 shield enemies, 2 knights that have like the armor and the big swords, and then they have like 3 dogs, and it's all those enemies.
Oh, the Shinra invasion, right?
Yes, and oh my god, I had to play that part over like 3 times.
They send an army after you, bro. Like, how is regular security detail an army? I think they buffed that out for a reason. It's buffed out.
And it was cool because, like, you know, I loved the fact that they incorporated all those things at one screen, and it's like, whoa, what am I supposed to do here? It overwhelms you as a player. But this is the thing: you have the shield guys throwing stuns out with like electric stuns.
You got grenaders.
You got the grenades that like blow you back with CC, and then you've got the dogs that pounce on you and bite your neck open. So you're switching between characters and not able to play the game, and that's the whole thing that I have a problem with: is you're not able to play the game. There's tons of CC, there's tons of stuff that, like, if you go in aggression, you get muffed up. There's a lot. So I beat that security part, or the parking garage part. I
spammed parry like a mother freaker.
Yeah, that's all I had to do. And that's the thing that I didn't like about the game, is I literally just had to sit there and hold R1 whenever I had a problem with something. And that is something that I think is poor. I don't think if you're a player, what I love about Metal Gear Solid 5 is it lets you play the game any way you want. You can go in silent, you can go in quiet, you can go in guns blazing with launchers, you can pull the whole game. So that's something I had a problem with for sure. I liked the game. I think it's missing something. I think if they added like a jump mechanic, that'd be insane. If they fixed the camera, that'd be insane. And then if they kind of rewarded skill. A lot of the things too, you can't dodge in this game. You literally can't dodge. If you press, I mean, you can. Don't get me wrong.
I've dodged quite a few, like especially when it came to Sephi. You could dodge rock to slash.
Yeah, but the dodge is very, very, very
it's spacey. It's like
it's very short.
Yeah.
It's almost like you could just walk or run, in the other direction and get further than just dodge.
Yeah, with Hell House, I literally ran past a lot of moves.
And that's the thing, is like the chairs would come at you and you would dodge, and then you get hit.
But if you run, you don't get hit.
Exactly, and that's punishing something, because the dodge needs to have skill. So if they had incorporated like iframes like they do in Dark Souls or something like that, like that would be that would be something that I wish that it was more. And I hate to say this as a Kingdom Hearts fan, obviously, I wish it was more like Kingdom Hearts. I wish there was more movement. I wish it was more flowy, because a lot of people use that word when they're talking about this combat system.
But then
it was very flowy.
There'd be a sense of realism that'd be taken away from this game, and then it'd be just and then, like, no disrespect, but like there's a group of fans that will scream Kingdom Hearts copy, or there is a group of fans that'll be like too much of Kingdom Hearts influence.
Yeah, but how many people out of those people will actually enjoy it? Especially people that hadn't played Kingdom Hearts. You talk about Kingdom Hearts 2.5, one of the best combat systems in any game. Any JRPG, any RPG, any action game. 2.5 was one of the best things that they had, and 3 was pretty good. It was modeled after that. It just was missing the mark on some things. If you modeled this combat system, I mean, not as much as like being in the air and air combat, because that's definitely almost like 80% of Kingdom Hearts' combat was in the air. But if you tried to like ground cloud a little bit, which is, I guess, a pretty good pun. If you could do that and then make a way to make it feel like the player had more freedom, that's all I want. Because I feel like I have like this ball and chain on me the whole time I'm in the game. And I know a lot of people have disagreed with me on that. Like, I've taken to Reddit, I've talked to people. A lot of people have agreed with me, but the most majority is the mob mentality of, this game is my baby. This game is what I've been waiting for 5 years. How dare you say this about my game? And I get it, but at the same time, I feel like
there's got to be a sense of reality to your statement. Like, really play
exactly.
the game.
Especially the camera. That's the thing I hope they fix in the second game. Please, God, please fix the camera.
I think you mean by like Cloud takes too much center stage on the camera itself.
No, I mean like the targeting system's awful. Like the AI for that. I mean, out of the camera sense, I think the AI is pretty bad too. They just sit there and block the whole time, which I get. Members? It makes you. Yeah, it makes you have to switch to your party to do it, and I get that. But I think there should be like a
materia setup that let them do things on their own.
Well, like Kingdom Hearts is, you can have Donald like be aggressive, or you can have like an AI system. Yeah, exactly. So you can actually go in there and fine tune it. So you can say, okay, well, I want Tifa to be super aggressive, so she can build gouge, and then like I want to be, have Barrett just only target like enemies in the air. The thing is like you can't have that. So you have to keep going over and over to different things. And if you're just getting too flustered, you know, any player that you switch to or any character automatically takes all that aggro. So if you're in a boss fight and your
That's
whole
true.
team
Yeah, they'll
is
go after you
like
instantly.
is like all critical and you're CC'd, you switch to your player and you're like, okay, let me try to do this cure, and then you get knocked down and you lose all that MP, you lose your ATB gouge, and you're down to square one.
Yeah, you're even less health.
Exactly, and that's frustrating. That's the thing that, to me as a player, was like, I don't like this. This is not fun. I did not have fun in the combat. There was a couple times where I was like, oh, okay, like I like that. Like the elevator boss. You went fight him on an elevator this time, but
No, yeah, you fight him in the lobby. But I can't lie, that fight was awesome.
That fight was really cool.
That
I
fight made me stop and think, like, okay, what?
And yeah, things like stuff like that was really cool. I liked the Rufus fight too.
Oh my god, bro! But then my thing is him and Zigbar. As soon as I saw him wield the gun, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna attack this. I'm gonna have to only be able to attack this guy when he reloads, and I was right. I was right. I was like,
Yeah,
I knew it.
I got that
kinda
one right away
annoying.
too. Yeah, it was annoying, but once you figured it out, because I was annoyed too at first, because I was like, wow,
Kept
this guy
countering
keeps
everything, and he would kill me
Yeah.
while I countered. Like, what the?
But once I figured it out, it did that. It was that nice gamer like voila phase of like, oh, I figured this out. I'm so smart.
That feeling
like, you
where
know,
you don't want to Google your strategy. You got to figure it out.
yeah,
That was
and
like,
I think that's really good game design, is having the player not feel. It kind of feels stupid at first, but then feel really smart, even though they're, you know, it's just average intelligence. I feel like that's good game design. That's like what Zelda does in their like Breath of the Wild does in their Sheikah
Oh yeah, the first time I meet
temples and stuff.
not the Sheikah Temple. The first time I met what's that thing called, the ones that want to kill the warrior.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my god, you with the eye, the mask on their eye, the eye with the mask with the eye on it.
The Yiga clan?
The Yiga
Oh
clan.
yeah.
When I first fought that one, it was like, help me, I'm sick. Then you talk to them, they transform. Like, oh shit, the hell it is? What's good, bro?
Oh
And
yeah.
I start beating your ass. Like,
Exactly.
What did I do?
But yeah,
Anyway.
that's what I think about the game. I mean, I've had so many friends like yell at me saying like you're wrong, and I mean, you know, it's subjective. It's one of those.
It's your opinion, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is I wanted to like this game, and I forced myself to play it when I was throwing my remote down on the ground. Like, oh my god, I don't want to do this again.
That
But
Hell House, let's be real. Up until that point, bosses were a cakewalk. Let's be real.
yeah, that's true. The game really kind of takes a turn during Hell House, and
What is happening? I think the developers
debating.
wanted that though.
I'm debating playing it through on hard mode because of Hell House. And the cool thing is you can pick your chapters and level up your character throughout the whole chapter, and then
Yeah.
you know, you get to level 99 and then face Hell House, and then he's like 2 hits and you're done. But
Yeah, I'm currently replaying it right now, but from beginning to end.
Oh
But,
yeah.
But my things for your points, I mean, they are valid. They are, like, I get it. I 100. But there's also like materia that's set up for those things.
Exactly.
Like, if you have deadly dodge set up outside of your character Cloud, the person that'll be fighting will dodge and will counterattack. My thing is, I do have the provoke materia set up on Cloud because I main him, and you're like. But even then, I did like your point before. Even when I have the provoke materia set on Cloud and I switch to Aerith to heal, the boss will for some freaking reason switch back to me and start hitting Aerith. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
she did not one lick of damage to you this whole time. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
I think you have to, for the provoke, you actually have to use that, right? Isn't that something that you have to cast?
The more damage you
Or is it
do, there'll be
passive?
the more damage you do, the game will put a notification.
Okay, because I never used that one.
The
I was thinking
enemy
about
is
it.
now focused on, it'll say Cloud or Barrett or whatever, whoever has it equipped to them.
Gotcha.
It
Yeah.
just makes them
so,
more prone to get hit.
and that's the thing I kind of learned at the end of the game, which you
There's
know.
a lot of stuff we learn at the end of the game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too, is I think a lot of it is I'm a lazy gamer now. I mean, I'm 27. I'm not about to be 28, and I feel like I just want to casually go through something and not have to like learn a very intricate combat system. I played the game on normal, but there was a lot of stunning or having people like move your character or make them stop moving for 8 seconds is something that is infuriating to me as a gamer. Like I hate it.
They gotta charge up that mana somehow.
Yeah, but
I could pull a Naruto. Just
I mean, like the casting is fine, but like when you're sitting there, like you're trying to hack and slash, and
you
then all
gotta
of a
cast
sudden
the spell.
you get hit. Okay, so like the whispers, like the last boss.
Oh, the bound. Yeah. Oh my
So
god.
when you're getting electrocuted, you're getting hit,
Sun,
you're
you're getting
getting
fireballed. You're
smacked.
getting
Yeah. The guy that's like Barrett is like shooting you with this stuff. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you read the assess on the whispers,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of
I think it's. I really want to talk about that because I have a theory for
yeah.
that. Boy.
So we could go with what I mean. I think Salad needs to go over what he said. Sorry, I didn't mean to take the limelight on that and change the subject, but that was my thoughts. I know it's a hot take. I'm sorry. I love the game still. I think it's great. I think the combat needs work.
It does. As
No,
any
combat
first-
needs some work.
Who's using
like-
who's using iPhone earbuds?
Is that me?
I think it's you.
I don't know.
No, he's good. I think it's yeah, it's
It's like static.
red. Yeah, it's red.
Oh, that's my phone.
Oh.
My phone, if it gets next to my mic, it does that shit.
Oh yikes. Cellular stuff, huh?
But yeah. For me, the gameplay. I mean, I don't know. I think it's because I'm a fucking fan. I think it's perfect. But it's because this is how, this is how I imagined they would fight. Like swinging randomly, and then like to cast magic, they got to take their time. Like, they gotta
It is
do
pretty realistic.
And if they get
I
hit,
want
guess
that.
what? You got hit. Like you got hit, bro. Like I don't know.
It is.
I don't know,
I
this
think
is
I
how I
agree with
imagined
that. I wish there was just more flow to the game and
The flow thing, yeah. Like I don't want to. Like the shortcuts is cool because my thing is when you press shortcuts in the game, the combat doesn't break pace. It's still flowing fast. The thing is when you open your menu, it slows it down, which is cool too. I can see that being the classic mode. I can see that being when you click classic mode, that's what happens. But when you pick normal, the combat has to keep going. It can't stop. It can't. That's how
Yeah.
I wanted it. Other than that,
Yeah.
I like it though.
I think it's good. I think I need to spend more time with it before I say it's terrible. I've been saying it's terrible, and then now I'm kind of watching videos. I'm on it, and
There's some
I
dope
played the
material
last boss.
combinations you got to check out, man.
Exactly, and that's the thing I've seen is that materia is something that is essential. Like obviously essential, but it's more than essential almost. It's like that's basically the whole game is just your materia setup.
Did you beat Yuzora?
Did I beat Yuzora?
Yeah.
Wait, in Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Good. On critical?
Yeah.
Good. Purist, just the purist in me, like yes. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was like wondering where we were going with that, but that's fine.
I
Yeah,
went somewhere
no.
with that. I just want to ask you. I'll come
Okay.
back. Come to it
No, I
later.
didn't beat the last 12 bosses like in the room or whatever,
The Garden
the
of Assemblies?
organization.
Wait, how did you fight Yuzora then?
I thought Yuzora, you go first, and then you go to Hollow Bastion, and then you face
No.
him in the.
You beat the 13 remnants of the organization, then you fight Yuzora.
Oh, maybe I didn't do that in critical mode then. Whoops.
Oh,
But no, I did fight Yuzora, that's for sure. Because that dude,
It's
I mean,
annoying.
it wasn't that bad
patterns-
because I was
his
level 100.
patterns
So
Oh, Jesus Christ. This pattern is
yeah,
annoying.
I got to level 100 in Kingdom Hearts 3 because I was just
Tired of it.
bored. I don't know. I just got the trophy for that. I don't know. I wanted it. But yeah, that I will say I'm gonna spend more time with it. Don't count me out yet. I'm gonna go through hard mode and see if I can
All right. Well,
love it.
we did the story pacing and the gameplay. Let's do the lore differences real quick. This is where the spoilers ensue, Caesar. And I mean, if you want to leave, you can leave. But I'm telling you, this is spoiler heavy when it comes to the lore differences. Like,
All right.
it sets it up.
I'm
To,
just
it sets it up to like what's gonna happen now. Like, this is not what I expect. Okay, I don't know what's gonna happen next. I thought it was gonna be
It's
Final Fantasy
not.
VII Remake.
Well, it's yeah. So it diverges from the original. I'll say that. So if
Bro,
you
like-
and it doesn't. It's not like a huge spoiler, I guess, because that's kind of the spoiler in
That's
itself.
the game. Yeah, that's the reason why the game was to be made. To be honest, he wanted to change
Yeah.
some things. He said.
Yeah. So if you want to stick around, I would say that's on you, but it's not too bad. But
I mean,
I don't really. To be completely honest, I don't really mind.
Okay.
Before we go, because this might help. Who did you love? Who's your favorite character in 7? Because you just beat the game. Like.
Vincent. I loved Vincent. That was my dude.
Okay, we don't know what's gonna happen with him yet, so you're good.
Yeah.
all right, never mind. We're good. We don't know what's gonna happen to him yet.
You haven't introduced yet.
Wait, hold your. No, what? Never mind. We don't know yet. Well, yeah, we don't know. All right, so the lore differences. Let's just all point out the ones we personally like. Like what changed first. Like,
me and you got the same one then.
Yeah, we do. Hector, what did you like the difference from? Like, what differences to lore did you really like?
I don't know, to be honest. It's like one of those things where I didn't feel like there was too much of a change. I mean, yeah, they stretched out Midgar as much as they can, but it's like from what I can remember, it's just not really too much of a difference. Like I expected some of the things.
Like people being left alive, people not being who they were in the original one.
Yeah, it's pretty odd. I just thought they did that because they wanted to like find a way to stretch it.
I did want to see what would happen to a certain person if they lived. But that's yeah, I did. Personally, I did. I don't know, for
I miss
me.
Jesse.
Yeah.
I'm mad as fuck about that still.
They got the one we don't care about alive. We got Charlie Sheen alive, but we ain't got Jesse. Like, what is this?
Wait, I care about Wedge. I don't care about Biggs because he has no personality.
Bro, Biggs is a beast, bro. What are you talking about?
Biggs is so fucking cheesy.
That's the point. He's Charlie Sheen, bro.
I think Wedge is the coolest that's alive.
He has cats.
But yeah, it's because he has cats.
Wedge was annoying.
I liked Wedge. He was pretty annoying, yeah, but I liked that. I liked that character.
Jesse, if Jesse doesn't stay dead, I'm gonna feel a little bit betrayed. To be honest,
she was a bad bitch.
She was like, there'll be no.
She was trying to get it.
She was hard, bro. Jesus,
yeah.
He even says, "Are you this thirsty?"
Yo, Cloud had all the bitches on him.
Bro, this was a harem like fantasy game, bro.
It was exactly, and Jesse was like the most outspoken about it, and they
respected it so much too.
I was just like, that's disrespectful when you see Wedge wake up and you see Biggs wake up, but you don't see Jesse, and I was like, are you kidding me?
You see her glove.
Yeah, and they're just like, but I think that they're leaving it up to the second one. I think that a lot of the thing, okay, so basically, if I could go on a tangent here, this is what the difference is between Final Fantasy Remake and Final Fantasy VII.
I think it's the arbiter, the wisps. They're controlling things and they're wanting to go as original as possible, right?
Yeah. So what happens is you're basically, the game is the same until you get up to a certain point, and that's when you're on the highway and there's now Sephiroth is there. Yeah, like, and he makes that big time. He slices like the time
slashes
continuum
the fabric
up.
of reality in half.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly. And you have to go in there and you have to fight the whispers.
Bro, back up, slice.
And what they do is, and they say that is, you alter reality when you do that. So what you're doing is you're altering the timeline of Final Fantasy 1998.